Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to ATI Pro Media. We're powered by Advanced Trading. Ooh, do we have an action-packed show for you, and it built itself. A lot of things going on. Did you like that rally yesterday in corn? Did you like that rally yesterday in beans? Don't blink, because it is weather market season. Breaking news. We have breaking news. Let me tell you about the breaking news. Breaking news, people. Weathermen love to break the news and tell you it's going to be hot and dry and tell you all these things are going to happen. It sells subscriptions, but here we're going to give you facts, not feelings. What's going on? Why? Let's take it to LaSalle Street. Joey G. Corn. D's corn down 6. July soybeans down 16 and a half. They were up 25 yesterday. Nove soybeans down 13 and 3/4. Meal down 6. Oil down 2. Oof. Wheat. Are you sitting down? Border Trade wheat down 17. KC wheat down 20. Hard red spring wheat down 13. Cattle, a little better news there. Probably liking these lower grain prices. June cattle up 50. Feeders up 100. Hogs up a little. Let's take it to Wall Street. Wall Street it is. Here we go. We had non-farm payroll. So you're going to see some big price action here, folks. Gold down 62. Silver down 170. Ring the bell. That's a big one. 2 years, 10 years, 5 years, 30 years, all the bond markets collapsing. That means interest rates are going up. Crude oil up 40. Natural gas up again today. Was up 3% yesterday. Stock market pulling back a little. Dow down 50. NASDAQ down 20. S&P down 6. Bitcoin doing Bitcoin things up 1,000. Hello. Are you sitting down one more time? Dr. Copper giving it all back. We're going to have a lot to talk about. We're going to go through the charts. We have the one and only B. Huck here ready on set. He was off studying this week, so Connor got a few extra rounds. But as he comes on the stage, he says, Connor who? Brady Huck, bring him in.
Thanks, Tommy. It's good to be here. And yeah. Connor, thanks for covering my butt the last 4 days. Love
Connor.
you, guy. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, you were always sitting there in the background. What people don't realize is as we're here, there's people down below. Big shout out to the folks who help us all day, every day. Joe's down there, Rick. I think Connor's doing his day job, which there's a lot to talk about. We obviously, as you know, we like to buy puts for people. And so we have a lot of people, some people, not a lot. That's an arrogant, assuming thing to say. And futures and options have risk. Roll that bad boy. But some clients like to be hedgers. Some clients like to be protected. Some clients don't want to play this emotional weather game. And by the way, I love the weather people we subscribe to. I subscribe to 3 different weather people. Advanced subscribes to a couple. We have our own in-house weather guy who I'm going to text him and see if he wants to call on the show. But talk about Brady, because you're in that emotional area of Kansas. And then also, I heard on the sad note, our North Dakota clients had 50, 60 mile an hour winds. And literally the folks who just got done getting the crop planted, they have some serious problems in central North Dakota. We may be able to get a little update on that. Talk about weather and emotions. And if you want to sell subscriptions, give people something to talk about.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's that time of year, right? It's weather season, silly season. And we live and die by these forecasts every day. And these markets, they can rally in a heartbeat on an updated weather model. Some tweet that gets posted about it going to be dry here during the summer, like you alluded to. It's summer. It's going to be hot and dry somewhere. It's going to be too wet somewhere, too dry somewhere. The production season here is important. And green snap season. I imagine we'll hear some green snap talks here as we get that corn growing in that specific stage when those big winds can come through and cause some green snap. But long road ahead of this crop still. That leaves us a little bit of optimism on, can we get some sort of production story? But if it rallies, it's going to rally for a reason, Tommy. And that makes it difficult to sell. I look at these markets and these prices, and if we rally from here, we bounce from here, we're not going to be in new territory. If we're 460 D's corn and rally to 490, 485, that's not new territory. We've already been there once. Does it give you a second chance to sell a few more bushels? Yes, but it's not. We've been there already, and doesn't really excite. It excites me, but as a second opportunity,
it's very easy to trade through these levels. Like if you go down, how do we pop 12 cents? There was nothing for sale. I mean, when I say nothing, there was not a lot for sale. So the market had no problem doing it. And then when it falls like it's doing right now, there's no great bids in there.
Right.
They all paid up 9, 10, 11, and 12 on that high volume yesterday. So I did see after, because I had on that rally yesterday, all I could think was what changed. Well, we got affordable. We had some exports. We had some exports today that'd be interesting to talk about. But when I look over to my left at this quote board, poof, this is a tough. The only thing I see up is the cattle and the Bitcoin. Want to do a little cattle update before we get into the headlines?
Yeah, we can talk a little about the choice cutout. Tommy has been moving higher. That's good to see. The cutout continuing to grind higher. Cash markets are holding together. The packer needs beef. We're in the middle of demand season. How long will this demand push last? I think the consumer is preferring more ground beef than they are the premium cuts. The choice select spread isn't as wide as it has been historically. Typically, we see that start to widen out now, but because these carcass weights are so heavy and cattle are great and really well performing really well, a lot of choice, a lot of prime cattle out there. You're not seeing those spreads like we normally would, and those premiums. And some of that's because we have the cattle that are grading that well, and the other is because the price rejection of those levels, premium, those higher, not willing to pay the premium for higher cuts. But cattle markets rolled over here a little bit on the feeder side of things. But we're bouncing back today, but the last week and a half has been kind of ugly out there. Record prices from the feeder cattle index side of things to go out and protect for deferred values. I've been busy with LRP transfer season, Tommy. This is the time of year where you
Mm-hmm.
can switch agents from, if you have an LRP agent that's maybe just a crop insurance agent or isn't a cattle specialist, you could transfer to somebody that is maybe more focused on watching cattle markets every day, and then pairing that with your futures options accounts. A lot of fun things you can do with LRP to manage volatility. My little LRP commercial here, but been doing a lot of transfers here this week. What are you seeing in cattle stuff, Tommy?
Well, my one client who's very involved in cattle says that the June cattle should converge with the cash. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, you got cash at 185, 186 in the south, and the June board is at 182 half. So do those come together? Typically, you don't see that coming together when options come off, but when that futures contract comes off, those should meet. And deliveries is what makes that happen, right? Having a deliverable product and a deliverable contract makes the cash and futures markets converge and come together. Cattle are shipped every day, every week. So having a contract that delivers, 15 days out of the month or calendar year, it makes it a little difficult. And you can see those gaps there. But they should come together, and that provides a little underlying support maybe for the June contract.
Yeah. Also, a little color. I felt like we sold off yesterday because of that headline on HP AI.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever sell on those headlines, if you don't buy them in, you can, if you see the headline and you sell it, there's profit there. But if you don't take them in, feels like a few days later, you're part of the covering process, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. That bird flu deal, Tommy, it's just doesn't go away. And I don't know, does it turn into a bigger deal? We're waiting for that black swan event type deal with this cattle market, and funds are long, feeders and fats. And I think we got to be cognizant of all the headline risk there, and the potential for that flash crash that could happen at any moment. But, this bird flu deal, does it turn into a bigger situation? I saw a line this morning that there were some cows actually that were dead from it. So that's a different tune than we've heard in the past versus just some illness and lack of production.
I'm going to say something crazy to you, and folks out there, if you think I'm crazy, comment in the comment box. But I was working out the other day at this place, and this lady came in and she said, my dog has pink eye. I took it to the doctor. And I looked out at the trainer and I said, I'm not going to tell her, but there's this thing going around called bird flu, and a lot of the animals are getting pink eye. It wouldn't surprise me one doggone bit if her dog had bird flu, but I don't know her, and I'm not a doctor, and I don't play a doctor on TV, especially a vet, but your daddy does. But anyway, I went and worked out this morning at 7:00, and she goes, you know what? I've had 3 more clients say their dog has pink eye. I go, I think, speculating, right? And I do not work for the any type of medical things, and I am no example of pillar of health. But is this if you're out there, if animals been getting pink eye, I mean, I guess we could call Tyne Morgan and ask her. She's been covering this, but it's not it's like we had talked about yesterday. There's a way greater risk of getting something else and having an illness. So
Right.
let's walk away from that.
Yeah. It's good to see cattle have a little green on the board today, and hopefully we, you want to support the beef market, go out and fire up that grill and put some beef on that grill, right?
Yeah. Today after work, I'm going to send clients, even if they're not premium clients, your video, Brady Huck, why didn't you push me harder? That video was filmed within a day or two of wheat making its high, both board, KC, hard red spring, and Brady was saying, I just wish I can get every client I know who has wheat to hedge, sell futures, sell cash, sell everything, buy puts, sell a call.
Cover
If
up.
you're, I sold some $8 calls for people in different things, and they did go against them for a few days. They are marginable. But now you look at the money being made. I mean, this wheat's given it up, and we've given back. If as an Italian, I could tell you there's a guy named Fibonacci. I'd say we've given about half of it back. Correct?
It's significant. Yeah. Chicago wheat touched the 200-day moving average here today, this morning. July KC wheat is a little bit above the 200-day moving average still, but 90 cents off the high on July KC wheat. That's a 12% fall from that high of 746, I believe.
Real quick, Joe, bring in my chart. I'm going to go through all the
Significant
wheats
move.
because Brady's talking about kissing these moving averages. Again, for you home gamers, red being 200, green being the 100. Let's start with border trade wheat. This is July. It is through the 200 and kissing the 100. Let's look at KC wheat. This is July. It is getting ready to kiss the 200, and it is above the 100. I guess you could say it's still trending up, but doggone it, if you're long, and most of you who produce wheat are long, you're going to be looking for support here. As a speculator, I'd say there was a lot of volume that was bought and traded up here when when the rally starts down here and people start calling up here, and a client in North Dakota calls you and says, did you hear there's a drought in Russia? Yes, sir, I did. And we have access to a lot of information. Sometimes we get it 12 hours late, a day late, but they're getting it 2 weeks late, right?
Yeah.
So the American farmer who's busy planting the crops calling saying, there's a huge problem in wheat in Russia. I don't want to sell it. There's no problem in north central North Dakota with your old crop wheat. And there is absolutely zero, well, not zero now because those winds, but the wheat crop in America is off to a good start compared to other years. When you look at border trade wheat, KC wheat, Minneapolis wheat, we will harvest wheat this summer and early, late summer and fall. So with that, let's look at spring wheat. There was no production problem with old crop, right? Spring wheat should look horrible. This crop's in great shape. It was put in timely. It's below the 200, below the 100. That is not a good look, folks. And that's why what we've always been saying is, where the heck would corn be if it wasn't for spring wheat? Now you look at corn giving up some of those gains. I mean, we had a monster rally yesterday, but we're giving that up. That's East corn. Let's switch to July real quick. Where would corn be if wheat was another 70 cents lower than here? And it very likely could be talking about, there is a chance we could be taking out these lows back here around this, call it the 425, 430 level. That's not a good look. And that's not that far away, Brady.
No, yeah. A big short covering rally, from on the wheat perspective from February to May. And then, you flip from net short, you get those funds flipping from net short, then they go a little net long, and you got some weak longs that get blown out when we have a 90-cent sell off here. And where from now? Which direction from here at the 200-day moving average, a pivotal point here? Something to pay attention to. The story's yet to be written. But the corn wheat spread, something else that a lot of merchandisers and people look at, that has slipped back as well, Tommy, which I guess maybe that's a bright spot for corn, is that corn was with a 90-cent sell-off on KC wheat, that corn was able to hold a little bit of ground and not get beat up too bad.
Remember on an episode, I don't remember if it was live, free, or premium, but I said, who do you think's out of line? Is corn too cheap or is wheat too high? And in a weird way, both is what you're saying, that the wheat got too high and the corn got dragged up with it, but it's holding some of those gains, right? And so that corn wheat spread really stretched out. Interesting. We, we're live streaming. There's 130 people watching right now. Did you see that roaring kitty? That how many people are waiting to get in that live stream right now?
God,
hey, Ryan Fogel, if you're out there and you're listening, give me a call. I got
Ryan.
the phone already. He'll be laughing if he calls in. But that's going to be a heck of a live stream.
Yeah. I hadn't looked, but yesterday when it went out on the tweet that he was posting a scheduled live stream like we do. We post our scheduled live stream that we're going to be on tomorrow at 9 a.m. Again, it's sitting there waiting, and you can go click on that video. And gosh, at first there was 300 people sitting in the chat, and the chat box was going crazy. And next thing you know, there's 3,500 people, 3,500 people
It's
sitting
like
there chatting.
I thought I looked this morning. There's 25,000 people, I think,
Waiting
waiting
now. Oh
to.
my gosh.
Let me go back and look at that. Yeah, I got it right here. This is wild.
Those GameStop. I was looking at some GameStop calls, 1 day expiration GameStop calls. There were some $50 calls. They were trading $1.60, $1.50. Then Rick's posting 48,000 are waiting.
Yeah, I got it right here. 48,000 waiting to go in 103 minutes. When you get done with ATI Pro Media, let me text Ryan and see if he can call in. He's
Rick's
probably
one of those 48,000
Now
apparently.
I gotta watch. I mean,
roaring kitty. The guy hasn't done a YouTube video in 3 years, and he's just recently become active on Twitter again, posting some of those interesting cryptic pictures, the Uno reverse card and the dude rocking back and forth on the toilet or something. I don't know what he was doing.
Well, listen, if you're out there and you're involved in markets, it's going to be that emotional time of year. I feel low energy today, but I feel great. I got up, worked out. I know folks are bummed out. I just found out about a lot of these clients who just got done planting, lost their crop up north. That's probably what's bothering me. If you're like, what's the matter with you? I'm fine. I'm gonna have a great day. It's a beautiful day here in Valparaiso, Indiana. But my heart goes out to when you lose a calf or when clients plant 5,000 acres corn, 5,000 acres of bean, and it gets mowed off. It's not good. Long term, that could create a heck of a bullish story. Let's go backwards. We're doing this all wrong today. You and I were out of sorts, but let's go headlines real quick. Let's take it down to headlines. We'll stop the ticker here and
this is
read these headlines for me,
Kevin. Yeah, onto the bullish supportive news. Flash sale to China. Soybeans sold to China, rumored yesterday. Great to see these flash sales for corn yesterday to unknown. Talk about the South America uncertainty on the safrinha corn crop and how much smaller, the lack of maybe producer movement on South America moving beans down there. It's good to see those flash sales.
And is this when everyone's been saying, oh, we've sold no beans to China? Does this put us down with some beans to China?
I think it does, yeah.
It was Dr. Larry and everyone clarify that, but I know everyone's like, we're selling nothing. All right, Ryan Fogel's coming into the show here. Let's let me get him in. We're going to get a roaring live kitty. Jojo, pull up the Ryan Fogel thing, the thumbnail. Thanks, Ryan. Can you hear us, buddy?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Meow. Give us a roaring kitty. You are live on TV. Jojo, pull up the thumbnail. Here, he's looking through his lower.
Not much of a roar today. It's it's not looking so good for the kitty.
What's going on with GameStop?
Well, so there was a lot of excitement in GameStop yesterday, and even in the aftermarkets, it got up to in the mid 60s, and it was looking like it might run to $100. And turns out,
is that when you gave notice yesterday that yesterday was your last day, and now you're like, I'm back. I'm out. Back.
Almost. Yeah. So GameStop had an earnings report coming out next week, and they decided to bring it out this morning. They reported their revenue was down about like 30%. Not surprising, really. It's a brick and mortar video game store selling physical video games. Their revenue or their profits were down too. But what really shook the market is they're offering $75 million in shares. So a lot of selling pressure. Market took a dump, and it's been halted numerous times this morning too. Usually to the upside.
In symbol again for people to Google, Ryan.
GME.
We're probably watching something historic. I mean, we went through this a few years ago. There's some Netflix specials on it. I can't believe we're talking about GameStop on ATI Pro Media. But if you watch TV, if you watch any of the business channels, it's all the rage. It's all the talk. And it's fascinating to watch all markets trade, Brian, whether it's Dow Jones, we had unemployment number today or anything. What we were talking about, I was saying, hey, Ryan, if you're listening, call in. Did you see there's 48,000 people waiting for his live stream in an hour?
Yeah, I'm one of them. So,
well, put me down as 2, and Connor and Brady and Rick and Joe is 4, 5, 6.
and we've got some time. It's not for another hour and 40 minutes, I think. So I could see that number getting into six figures easily.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the YouTube streaming record is, but I
looked this up. It's something around 8 million, I think.
Okay.
It was some kind of sporting event.
Okay, I noticed during the eclipse, I was watching some live streams with a couple million people watching. Well, they should be able to handle it. Big move on the outside markets, though. Just all this gold, silver, everything else, copper. It's a risk-off day in some ways. And it's funny how Bitcoin just keeps going. You like trading Bitcoin, 72,000 on Bitcoin. That's not nothing to be ashamed of there, buddy.
No, it's been holding pretty steady. One thing that's kind of interesting with Bitcoin is if you watch it in the SPY, they trend pretty close together. So when SPY is having a good day, Bitcoin tends to follow it.
Oh, what do you call that?
The S&P
ETF.
Yeah, but the a percentage of when things are correlated. Thank you. Yeah, percentage correlation, like 60%, 70, 80. But you're saying there's a high correlation between the SPY, which is the stock form of the S&P 500, and Bitcoin. Yeah.
And it historically has not been the case, but it's not exactly the same product it used to be. It's changed quite a bit. It's gotten tied in with big banks and the ETFs, and I think I read the ETFs now own over 1 million Bitcoin. Not $1 million, 1 million Bitcoin.
Right, like BlackRock, Citadel, or more, not Citadel, BlackRock. Yeah, interesting. And the world's changing. We should be talking about this stuff more. And I know in a few days or weeks, you're going to do a 3-part special on, the beginning of Bitcoin, the middle, and then where we are now, and even the corruption part and everything else. All right, everyone, that's Ryan Fogel. Ryan, thanks for calling in. This is working well with you calling in, and I'll see you on the next live stream. Everyone go, what's Roaring Kitty's handle on YouTube?
Hang on, I got it here.
Please stand by.
Roaring Kitty?
Yeah. That's his handle.
So if you search Roaring Kitty live stream, it'll come right up.
All right, awesome. Well, it'll be fun. I'd like to see a setup. Maybe we can get him a couple pointers. 54,000 people waiting to watch the and doggone, I was impressed. We got 160 right now. All right, Ryan, you have a great weekend.
I got one more quick thing for you.
Oh yeah, but wait, there's more.
I just forgot about this. In the thumbnail on Roaring Kitty's YouTube, there's a bunch of people in there, and there is a cartoon image of he's a Greek guy, I believe. His name's Ozymandias. And the significance of that is to pull an Ozymandias means whatever he have already planned or done can't be stopped. So the logic behind that, maybe whatever Roaring Kitty has done, his trade is already executed or foolproof or protected. I don't know, but it's interesting to see that on there.
That's interesting. Well, thanks, Ryan Fogel. Good looking and smart. Not a combination you see in a commodity broker. Awesome. Call on the phone, Ryan Fogel. Well, I'm gonna have to Google that with some Greek lessons there. Look at that guy. We work with guys that smart. Thanks, Ryan. See you, bud.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan.
That was awesome. Well,
wild
we got
stuff.
The phone thing working.
Cryptic, the images dissecting the thumbnails of these guys. It's pretty wild times.
Yeah, Mr. Rick says 55,000 people waiting for the Roaring Kitty. All right, hey, it's Friday. I'm in a doggone good mood. I feel like we started the show funky, so we apologize. We're giving away a free flag. We'd love for you to subscribe to ATI Pro Media Premium, but heck with it. If you're cheap and you just don't want to, and you just say, I want free stuff, this is the line, 1-855-737-FARM. First person to call or email, getting a free flag. We'll have it mailed out to you today. Summer intern Sawyer will have that at the United States Post Office, and we will get that to you. Free flag. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hey, we mailed out 4 flags today. Picked up plenty of premium subscribers, and we're always looking for more.
Tommy, what did you guys do on premium yesterday? Yesterday was so long ago. I loved yesterday's show. All right, right here, Land and Pork. Once a month, we meet with Jim Rothermick. He is the land talker, and he has a free newsletter that's awesome. But we digest this newsletter. There was 2 no sales in the state of Iowa. It's very specific to Iowa. But then Jim Brady, he had spent a day or 2 at the Pork Expo, and he kind of had some bad news about pork and the future outlook of that. And he also talked about there's an incredible amount of people looking to sell their facilities in Iowa, and as the facilities age, people aren't tripping over themselves to buy any old facilities. So yesterday's premium content, folks, $1 a day. If you want to subscribe, www.atipromedia.com. Takes about 45 seconds to do it. Jim's becoming a great friend of the show and a great contributor. We're going to have Monday. We'll have
right out early in the morning. We're going to record a weather update, week ahead weather. We'll have that out early Monday, and then we'll have another episode. So we promise 6 original pieces of content a week, but we're going to start doing more. We have a lot of access to a lot of great people. Of course, we're very proud to announce our partnership with Acres TV. If you don't have a username and password, you should get one. Acres TV, wonderful information. If you love ag, you love agronomy, they're a good partner to work with over there. They got a lot of content, very ag specific, and we're proud to be one of their first financial channels on there. There's some others too, but we're getting after it every day. I don't think anyone's putting out as much content as we are here, Brady, both on the free side and the premium. Folks, if you're going to be home Sunday, we're going to go live at 7:45 at night. I've really enjoyed that. How many people did we have last week? 485 watching live?
I think, almost
Yeah,
got
we couldn't
500.
get 500. I was
No.
getting tired. But then speaking of promoting, hello. Hope to see you all next week. Got a few spots left. Thursday, June 13th, live taping, ATI Pro Media Live, and then a marketing meeting, some education seminar, and then a roundtable. We'll feed you. We'll give you coffee and drinks, not the alcoholic type, just the caffeinated. And then we'll send you home. We're going out to dinner the night before. Myself will be down there night before. Summer intern Sawyer, Joe, Connor, you're going to come in. Connor will be there physically. You're coming in remote. That's it. Advanced Trading Corporate. That's a free meeting. We'd love to see you. All right. Back to the news in the markets. Not a lot of price change. Kind of feels like what's done's done here for today in the markets, but we will have weather updates that are coming here shortly. A lot of emotion with this weather. All right. Grow the farm up. Profit taking or long-term trend? Great question. Grow the farm. I wanted to talk about this. The selling off. Something really strange happened yesterday afternoon. I was trading, and corn closed on the dead high, and after 115, it traded a penny over settle because you trade from 115 to 120. Wheat closed on the dead low, and then traded a penny and a half below that and so you had corn on the dead high, wheat on the dead lows, and there was a massive unwinding. It felt bear markets have vicious short covering rallies. Some of the biggest rallies I've ever been heard on in my life are stock market short covering rallies in mega bear markets. The other day, Brady, I told you that PJ had called me and said someone had bought 5,000 July of a flavor corn calls. He said they're not bullish. They're so short corn that they have to own that upside so the margin departments don't freak out and say, if corn goes up $2, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to lose my 50 cents profit and I'll be flat after that, right? Yep. And so there's people who are really hammering down on these shorts. If you do need upside, I would say that upside calls are going to be a lot more affordable today than they were yesterday. To think we sold soybeans and we're down 14, that just shows that the market has selling to do. I feel like there was people who saw that rally yesterday and they're getting caught up on those end of June, July sales. And yeah, it's a good week. I liked what we talked about. Great question. Any other questions or comments here from friends and people out there in the internet?
We got a Flash Connors comment. Oh, we got another one from Grow the Farm Up.
Oh, yeah. Greek mythology on ATI this morning. Laugh out loud. Well, that's Ryan Fogel, and I can't wait to. I love doing this, but I can't wait to get off this and see what Roaring Kitty's doing, what equipment he's using. I don't own any GameStop, full disclosure. I never have, never in my life. But it's fascinating. If you do like trading options, it's fun to watch how much things cost, right? So if GameStop's $50, what's a $100 call? And you'll learn a lot about options just watching those options price in that volatility for this. Is it manipulated? I don't know. If you got a problem with it, call the SEC. They're the one who's supposed to be watching it. Yeah, Connor B, looking forward to meeting next week. Connor, it'd be nice to meet you. You know, we've always done this on the live stream. I've never met you in person. And yeah, we got a case of ATI Pro Media cups, and we enjoy everyone who will bring some flags and some cups. And
it's going to be a good meeting, Brian and Nate Mangold.
I think Brian's out of town. I think we got Cesar. Nate Mangold after work closes. Luke Hickey's going to open and talk a little bit about the history of what we do and how we started as a Central Illinois firm and then expanded from there. What else? Anything else? Any other questions, comments?
Going to be good stuff. Looking forward to big week. WASD next week. Rick's saying 59,000 on.
Yeah, 60,000 wait for Roaring Kitty. Yeah, that was interesting that Ryan understood the detail of his thumbnail. Oh, thumbnails. We have a problem with those some days, but we're getting it worked out. All right. With that, if you ever missed a show, you can catch us on YouTube. You can catch missed shows on Acres TV. We really appreciate, we've noticed recently that our Apple and Spotify listeners have doubled in the last 60 days. And like anything else, it's a grind. You got to produce content and get people out there. I understand this afternoon. Are you going to be on Market Talk with Jesse Allen?
Yeah, really looking forward to that. Jesse Allen, Market Talk, his channel. He interviews a lot of different people. And I feel like I've made it now, finally, Tommy, being able to be on Jesse's show. It's
Heck,
great.
you were on national TV once. I remember you. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. This weekend, when we do come back on Sunday, we're going to, you and me, or if you can make it, we're going to do a bull bear debate. That's really fun to do, long show on Sunday and say, all right, corn, bull bear, meal, oil, this, that, wheat, gold, silver, bull bear. I really can't explain to you why silver or gold goes up, $60 one day, down $60 next. In the old days, everyone would be like, "Oh, the dollar, the dollar." I love when when a news personality says, "What do you think about the dollar?" I'm like, "I don't know. I have 20 of them in my wallet. What do you want me to say about the dollar?" We do know this: there has been some dollar moves just based on that EU cutting rates the other day. But I'll tell you this: the bond market's down a ton today, an absolute ton, and that means interest rates are going up. And whatever came out in that non-farm payroll, we didn't talk about that. You have to talk about this. Pop that up, because I asked you to pop that up, and then you're like, great, you had me pop up the thing, and now we didn't talk about it. We had non-farm payrolls. It moved the markets. Jobs number was a surprise to the upside. Payrolls jumped, and so did the employment rate. Odds of a rate cut in July went from 21% down to 8.8 after today's data. That's that bond market collapsing. Do you have that chart of, I got it right here. I got it. All right, let's get that headline down. All right, this is what unemployment looked like. 3.5 times we're good in America. 2020 COVID, we go up to 15% unemployment. We've come down. We stayed down for a long time, but we're just starting to creep up. And although that line doesn't look like it's increasing a lot, those are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of jobs are starting to be lost. And that's what the unemployment picture looks like in America. We got one more comment here. We got some people coming in here.
A lot of outside. Go ahead, Luke. Did you go over the Brazil export tax increase? Not specifically, Luke, but maybe kind of hinted at a little bit when we were talking about the bean purchase from China and maybe lack of farmer selling, tightening up there a little bit. Interesting gamesmanship going on down there and everywhere in the world with these rates and how that impacts the dollar. There's just so many other factors that influence where these markets go, outside of just supply and demand. But
yeah, and I noticed a lot of people commenting about a lot of tweets, a lot of this, but how's that going to affect someone in America's life? Is it? I don't know. I think you should be way more worried that old crop corn's down 7 and way more worried about production ag, getting your costs down, managing interest rates and everything else. Great comment, Luke. Thank you. But there's so many things here in America you can control. And that's one of those things you can't control. So Brazil doing something like that, okay, and something to talk about. But what can you do to produce the most bushels with the least amount of expenses and everything else? Market's coming back down here. Nice firm day in cattle. And with that, we're going to do some premium content this afternoon. Tomorrow's premium content will be Don Wick. We'll get that out to people. Monday, we're going to have a doubleheader with a weather report. Before the market's even open, we'll have that bundled and back out. Anything else you'd like to say before we go, Brady?
Big week next week. Can't wait to do the live stream Sunday night, see how these markets open up Sunday, and got that crop conditions. Big week next week. It's a weather market. Thanks, Tommy.
Yeah, well said. Ben Peters sent that email out. I didn't pop it up on the screen, but it was the PP dates and everything else. And we'll talk about that a lot next week. Next week, we'll be coming into 610, 615. Now you're talking like, do you have the crop in? Yes or no? What's your plan? Not pie in the sky. We'll get it in. It's go time. It's replant time. Are we going to get these breaks in weather, or are people going to finally get rained out and pull the pin? With that, thank you for watching ATI Pro Media. We're super excited that we completed our first week on Acres TV. If you missed the show here, go back, watch it on YouTube, watch it on Acres TV. This is the free show giving you today's news today. Brady Huck, Dodge City, Kansas. Tom Grisafi, Valparaiso, Indiana. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.